Recently, a viewer asked if we could make a tutorial using LibreOffice Calc, and after looking into it, I got very curious. It's free, it works offline so you can use it without an internet connection, and it kind of looks like Excel. So I started wondering, there must be more programs like this, right? In today's video, we're going to test some of the most popular free options out there and find out which one's actually worth using. We'll be testing 4 fully free spreadsheet programs: Google Sheets, LibreOffice Calc, OnlyOffice Spreadsheet Editor, and WPS Office Spreadsheets. Each of these tools is available at no cost, but their quality varies depending on what you use spreadsheets for. Before we jump into the actual testing, let me quickly introduce each competitor. Google Sheets. Developed by Google and launched in 2006, it's completely cloud-based, great for real-time collaboration and simplicity. However, you'll need internet access unless you set up offline mode in Chrome, which I found to be quite the hassle. LibreOffice Calc. Part of the LibreOffice suite, released in 2010 by the Document Foundation after it forked from OpenOffice. Fully open source and offline friendly. It's widely used in education and on Linux systems. OnlyOffice Spreadsheet Editor. Developed by Ascensio System SIA around 2012. This one's sleek and clean, and available as both a desktop app and web-based tool. WPS Office Spreadsheets, made by Kingsoft, a long-standing Chinese software company. WPS is known for being visually similar to Excel and offering a full suite for free, though it may show some ads in the free version. To keep things fair, we'll be rating each tool across 6 core areas that reflect how you and I might use spreadsheets. Each category will be scored from 0 to 3 points. 0 points when it doesn't support the feature at all, 1 point when there is poor or very limited implementation, 2 points when it's good but with flaws, and 3 points when there is excellent support. We'll also look at whether the software offers mobile support on Android and iOS. I mean, I'd rather not be working on a spreadsheet from my phone, but if I have to, I want to know the option is there. So in the platform support category, tools can earn up to 1 extra point, half a point for Android and half a point for iOS. All in all, there's a maximum of 19 points to score. Let's get into it and see which one actually delivers the best overall experience. We started where most people start, with Excel files. Excel is still the most used spreadsheet software worldwide. Because of that, Xlsx is the most common spreadsheet format. If you collaborate or download files from Excel users, you need to be able to open and use the file without breaking it. So I imported the same styled and formula-filled Excel file into each program. I'll open the file in Excel first to see how it's supposed to look and then get into the different programs. As you see, we have a file with 2 sheets, sales data and products. In the sales data sheet, we have an actual table and some formatted fields like date, price per unit, and total revenue. In our products sheet, we just have some data. It's not actually a table, but we gave the header some bold text and a background color. Let's see if it holds up. First up, Google Sheets. I've already uploaded the test file to my Google account. Let's import it real quick and see how it looks. It seems to work like intended. The calculations and the way data is being displayed seems to be correct. It did change the table styling a bit, and it's way darker than it was in Excel, and it could be a bit hard to read because of the color contrast, but it still works. And of course, the product sheet is also perfectly fine. Now let's get into WPS Office. Open the file real quick. Wow, this basically is an Excel clone. The table seems to be perfectly preserved, the data formats and calculations as well, and the Products tab is also correct. Besides the fact that the ribbon is centered, you almost wouldn't notice that you aren't using Excel. Next up, LibreOffice Calc. Let's open the file in here as well. And right off the bat, we can see the same thing happened as in Google Sheets. The table didn't really got the styling we gave it in Excel. It also seems like LibreOffice has opened in dark mode, which makes it very hard to see the contents of the table, but they are there. The data is correct though, and the products sheet works as well. That brings us to our last contender, OnlyOffice. Grab the file real quick, and on our first glance, it looks amazing again. The data looks right, and the table took the exact styling from our Excel file. At first, I wasn't sure if it was actually recognizing it as a table because I don't get specific table styling options, but it does seem to recognize it as a table. Now that we looked over all of these options, let's get into the ratings. Google Sheets, it did work like intended, but we had that little styling issue with the table. It can be pretty obnoxious if you are working on a file and it looks like this. 2 out of 3 points. WPS Office, I was very surprised by how much it looks like Excel, and it also worked perfectly fine. 3 out of 3 points. LibreOffice Calc. We kind of had the same styling issue as in Google Sheets. I believe it might be because my computer is in dark mode, but it didn't get the striping neither. 2 out of 3 points. OnlyOffice. This one also looked like Excel. The styling was preserved and the calculations still worked. 3 out of 3 points. Next, we move on to formulas. This is the heart of spreadsheet software. For example, can it handle everyday functions like sum, if, and vlookup? But it's not just about whether the formulas work. I also looked at how much the tool helps you as you type. Does it suggest arguments, show tooltips, autocomplete the function names? I quickly tested sum, if, and vlookup in all programs to see if it works and how easy it is to use these functions. In Google Sheets, it went perfectly fine, and it even filled in what we might wanted to do. 3 out of 3 points. In WPS Office, the functions worked as well, but it didn't autofill our options. 2 out of 3 points. In LibreOffice, the functions worked, although getting vlookup from a different sheet was a bit harder than it was in the other programs. It also didn't try and give suggestions when writing the function. 2 out of 3 points. And OnlyOffice did fine as well. It didn't complete our functions, and it also seems to have a little issue with summing the total revenue from a table, but we easily fixed it by using the function helper. 2 out of 3 points. Now let's get into conditional formatting. I used a sample list of sales values and applied rules to highlight anything over 100 and later on 200. In some tools, this is one click. In others, it's a bit of a puzzle. But it worked perfectly fine in all programs. So all programs get a 3 out of 3 score. Now it was time for a heavy hitter feature. Pivot tables. I tried building a simple pivot table from our sales dataset. I grouped the data by region and summed up the total revenue. It's a basic analysis, but incredibly useful and a great way to see if each program actually supports basic pivot functionality. LibreOffice Calc was a bit more outdated than the others, but it did work fine, so all programs get 3 points. Next, I checked which operating systems each tool runs on: Windows, macOS, and Linux. As mentioned earlier, I also checked whether mobile apps exist for Android and iOS. Google Sheets is of course browser-based and has mobile support, 4 points. WPS Office also works on Windows, Linux, and Mac and has excellent mobile support, 4 points as well. LibreOffice does support Windows, Linux, and Mac, but it doesn't have any mobile apps, so only 3 points, and OnlyOffice supports all desktop platforms as well as mobile, so 4 points for them. So what's the best free Excel alternative? Well, it's actually a tie. WPS Office, OnlyOffice, and Google Sheets all ended up with 18 points. Each one brings something different to the table. WPS Office surprised me the most. It feels almost like using Excel itself, with great compatibility and a modern interface. The only downside? The occasional ads in the free version, which might annoy some users. OnlyOffice also really impressed me. It looks clean, runs smoothly, and offers full offline support. Definitely something I'll explore more in the future. Google Sheets remains the go-to for real-time collaboration. If you're working with others online, it's probably your best bet, though its offline support isn't ideal. As for LibreOffice Calc, it got 15 points, but it's still a strong option, especially for power users or those on Linux. But its interface feels a little dated compared to the other options. You'll find links to all of these tools in the video description below. Are you using one of these, or do you use different software? Let me know your experience in the comments. I'd love to hear what works for you. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out SpreadsheetSuccess.com for more tips, tricks, and tutorials.